Planet Earth can't even be sufficient without the rain. It doesn't produce rain, you know. Sunshine, it doesn't produce the sun. The wind, it doesn't produce the wind. All planet Earth produces is the dead bodies of humanity. That's its only creation. Everything else comes from outer space, from unknown regions. Humanity's life depends upon the unknown. Knowledge is laughable when attributed to a human being.
Mythology, astro, timeless immortality, astro thought in mystic sound, astro black of outer space, astro natural, darkness dark, astro reach beyond the stars, out to endlessness. Astro Black, Cosmo Earth. The universe is in my voice. The universe speaks through this song to those of Earth and other worlds. Listen while you have the chance. Find your place among the stars. Get in tune with outer worlds, with our multiplicity, harmony, equational melody, horizons beam, Astro Black and Cosmo Dog, Astro Black and Cosmo Dog, Astro Black and Cosmo Dog.
One day it will happen, could be happening now, that a voice from another dimension will speak to Earth. You might as well practice and be prepared for it.
And darkness was ignorance, along came wrong. When the world was in darkness, and darkness was ignorance, along came wrong. The living myth, the living myth, the living myth.
I have many names. Names of mystery. Names of splendor. Names of shame. I have many names. Some call me Mr. Ra. Others call me Mystery. You can call me Mr. Mystery. The chaos on this planet is due to the music that musicians are playing, that they're forced to play by some who just think of money and don't realize that music is a spiritual language and it represents the people of Earth. When musicians are compelled to play anything, it goes straight to the throne of the creator of the universe, and that is how he sees you, according to your music. Because, see, music is a universal language, and what you cause musicians to play is what goes to the creator as your personal ambassador and your personal nemesis. All the churches you got and all the schools you got, all the governments you got, you're supposed to have a better planet than this. Well, then man has failed. Spiritually, educationally, governmentally, he's failed. Well, then he should be a good sport and say, I give up, I need help. Well, I'm right here as a bridge for them to get help. And they could listen to see, what am I talking about? They'd get a surprise because I'm talking about equations that are in their books. Books from way back in ancient Egypt, in Greece, and Rome, and their philosophers been talking a touch of everything I'm talking. Calling planet Earth, calling planet Earth, calling planet Earth. Calling planet Earth, I am a different order of being. Calling planet Earth, I am a different order of being. I will be coming your way soon, planet Earth. Calling planet Earth, I will be visiting you soon. On every hill, every dale, every valley, every home, every person, I am a different order of being. represent a different kind of horizon, another kind of sunrise, another kind of sunset, sunrise, sunset, same sun is shining that was shining then. Every song I write tells a story that humanity needs to know about. In my music, I speak of unknown things, impossible things, ancient things, potential things. No two songs tell the same story. They say that history repeats itself, but history is only his story. You haven't heard my story yet. My story is different from his story. My story is not part of history. Because history repeats itself, but my story is endless. It never repeats itself. Why should it? A sunset does not repeat itself. Neither does the sunrise. Nature never repeats itself. Why should I repeat myself? Somehow ancient Egypt is thought of as a kingdom of bondage. It would be better to say the kingdom of discipline, the kingdom of precision, the kingdom of culture, beauty, art. It would be better to say that because this is the proof of it. The stones speak. The stones are speaking through vibrations of beauty, vibrations of discipline, vibrations of precision. Yes, the stones speak to the people of planet Earth. If teenagers are lost, it is because they have been fed upon the word freedom, not discipline.
Well, Sunrise is a nice group that I live a few doors away from Sunrise. Is a nice group. The players who perform in Sunrise are nice men because I see them every day. And Sunrise music is good music.
And one of them own the store, and they be into like the space and things like that. And they are right people.
What have the rest of these kids? Yeah, the store right here was started because I felt that something needed to be done in the neighborhood for the ones who listen, the young ones who listen, and we believe in discipline. And I believe, children should be taught discipline from a young age. When they get older, it won't be no problem. I've been over here about a year and a half at the Pharaoh's Den. And another reason the store was started, I want to do something in the name of the ancient pharaohs. And very few people do things in the name of the ancient pharaohs. Well, now you see right over there, I got assigned spaces to place. So I try to teach the children about space, outer space, precision and discipline. And like on the outside of my sign, it said Pharaoh fed the nation of the world for 7 years. So I might be here 7 years maybe.
They said that the language of ancient Egypt is no longer spoken. But nature never loses anything. It is still spoken. I'm sitting in front of the White House, looking over across the street, but I don't see the Black House. That's where it ought to be, because you can't have a White House if you don't have a Black House. In fact, you can't have anything unless you have a comparison. You can't have a good government unless you got an evil government. You can't have righteousness unless you got the wicked with you. You can't have anything without this parallel and this opposite. This is something that the people of Earth are unaware of. You can't have a Justice Department that goes out looking for only criminals and never go out looking for people who are doing good. You can't have justice if you penalize people for doing wrong and don't do anything to help them when they're trying to do right.
Sunrise, could you tell us why you're here tonight?
Well, it's just like to play a Requiem for Trevor Johnson, a former member of the band who left the planet about 3 weeks ago.
Does this have any special meaning for you?
The Requiem? Well, it'd be the first time one was wrote for a poor, unfortunate man. Those of the reality have lost their way. Now they must listen to what myth has to say. Those of the reality have been bruised and beaten by the truth. Those of the reality have been slaves of a bad truth. So there's nothing left now but the myth. The myth is neither bad nor good. Its potentials are unlimited. Somewhere else on the other side of nowhere, there's another place in space beyond what you know as time, where the gods of mythology dwell. Gods that are not real to you, gods who have created the illusion that they do not exist to the people of planet Earth. These gods dwell in their mythocracy, opposed to your theocracy and your democracy and your monocracy. They dwell in their mythocracy, a magic world that makes things to be. These gods can even offer you immortality. We hold this myth to be potential. They hold their truths to be self-evident. But our myth is not self-evident because it is a mystery. I'm not part of history. I'm more a part of the mystery, which is my story.
Why has one of the most highly respected saxophone players in the country stayed so many years with Sun Ra?
Well, he was the first one to really introduce me in the higher forms of music, you know, past what you might would say, what Bird and Monk and the fellows were doing. I didn't think anybody was ahead of them until I met Sun Ra, you know. And I played with him on and off for about 6 months. And I could read real well. I just come out the Army playing solo clarinet, so reading was no problem.
any of the music that he showed me. I could read it pretty well, but I didn't really understand it. I couldn't hear it for about 6 months. Then one night, I heard it. We were playing this number Saturn. I had been playing it for 6 months every time we worked. But then I really heard the intervals this one night. And I said, my gosh, this man is more stretched out than Monk. It's unbelievable that anybody could write any meaner intervals than Monk or Mingus, you know, but he does. His intervals, knowledge of intervals and harmony, very highly advanced, you know. So when I saw that, I said, well, I think I'll make this to stop, you know.
About 10 years ago, the New York Times stated that I had bypassed the space age, and I have. But the space age can be a bridge to the omniverse age. And that's what I'm talking about to members of the band, hoping that they will make it because it's Judgment Day for them as well as for everybody else, as to whether they can be accepted by something that's totally pure and eternal. And it's not based on righteousness, and it's not based on evil. As I said, they're teaching that God wants all the righteous people, and they're teaching that the devil wants all the unrighteous ones. But they can't get in my band that way. They might get in God's heaven by being righteous and get into the devil's kingdom by being unrighteous. That won't help them with me.
There's about 6 or 7 of us. There's Marshall Allen, Elo Olmo, Jackson, Danny Thompson, Sun Ra, and myself, and guests that come through, you know. There's always a place downstairs or somebody, but basically speaking, it's between 6 and 7 of us live here at all times, you know.
What's our fine, man? Organizers,
everything works out unbelievable.
Well, you know, like you
chaos, but it just works out. It comes right on in together. It's hard to even put down in words on paper
like
or on film.
It's like you couldn't say how that works out. Really, it just works out. It just works. It's, you know, you can get somebody from Timbuktu, man, and, you know, Sonny got that ability that leaders have of being able to pick the person that's gonna fit. And they fit. You know, whether it's for 1 gig, 10 gigs, or for the rest of
You never
time,
know when rehearsal's gonna be.
Rehearsal.
It might be at 4 in the morning. It might be at 6 in the morning. It might be from 6 in the morning to 12 at night.
Right.
It might be any time. You just have to be ready. If you're out somewhere, you got to come on back in and, get a rehearsal.
That hurt the social life?
Social life? No. Music. You got folks, when folks go out to hear music, right? Now that's their social life, right? Well, I'm getting my social life here. I'm music all night.
Sometimes it's tough, but the sincerity of wanting to be a part of the music, you don't really mind it, at times, right? You had to give up a lot of pleasures you want to get into, like maybe going out to enjoy yourself. You can't do it because you got to stay here and rehearse, But once you get into the music, you forget all about the other thing that was happening because the music have you so into it that the rest of it don't even matter.
Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. No, you got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, play.
Well, I was going, you live where Sun Ra lives. If he's a leader and you follow the leader, you live where the leader lives. It's the easiest thing to me anyway. Now, anyway.
I basically choose musicians who believe in orchestration, discipline, and precision. Not too many musicians have demonstrated that.
I named this drum, or rather Sun Ra did, named this drum an ancient infinity lightning wood drum. I got lightning wood from the fact that it was taken from a tree that was struck by lightning directly in back of me, which is, you can see the remains of it, the stump, right opposite the fence on the other side of the fence. And the tree was standing directly opposite the house, 5626 Morton Street. Now, when lightning struck the tree and they came to cut down the remains of the tree and take it off, I saw a large piece of the wood, large piece of the tree, and decided to, well, I'd been told I needed a drum anyway. He told me one day, and the next day, lightning struck the tree across the street from the house, and that started the drum. So I spent a summer hollowing it out and figuring out how to put a head on it, and doing a bas relief carving on the face of it, on the body of it, which is a verse out of the Book of the Reawakening, which is an Egyptian book, commonly known as the Book of the Dead. I had played drums, you know, on and off, but just, you know, hand drums, kunga drums, but I didn't really know anything about drumming except what I had picked up from other people. But Sun Ra, of course, showed me a whole nother idea about drumming.
It's better to deal with the people who have intuition now. You see, they don't know what they're doing. The ones who do know what they're doing haven't proven anything. the police knocked on the door, one of them and said that they had some complaints from the neighbors, and it's because of noise or something like that. Because of the music, that's what he said. And I told him I wasn't playing no music, I was playing a joyful noise, and that's what the Bible says. It says, make a joyful noise to the Lord. I myself am rising up above what they call liberty and what they call equality. And whatever man thinks is the greatest thing, I have to rise above that because I have to judge a tree by the fruit. I don't like what I see. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm not looking for liberty. I'm not looking for equality. I am moving forward with my music, universal language, expressing things of value. And if there are some people who want to listen, they're welcome. I'm just like the birds, they sing. Those who like it can listen, and those who don't have to.
You know, it's follow the leader. There's not too many people that do that anymore, except children. You know, in games, there was, I think everybody remembers the games that they played as children, follow the leaders, you know, and the one that made the best leader was the one that did the most outlandish thing, or the thing that was not normal, or the thing that wasn't common, or the thing that was the most like a pilgrim-like thing. You know, they went to new frontiers, or they did something that no one else thought to do.
You people of planet Earth, you're on the spaceship Earth. You're on the spaceship Earth. Destination unknown. Destination unknown.
That's what leadership is about. If you got a natural leader, and that's what Sun Ra is, to me, a natural leader, then whatever he says I don't really think about it. I just react and, you know, do what I'm told to do. That way I've done an incredible amount of things that I don't know about, you know. Like building the drum, I don't know anything about drums for real. I mean, you know, on a conscious level of saying I'm a drum builder.
Leaders are not included in the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution. This is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Left leaders out. Of course, when you make a declaration of government, that's what it becomes. So this government is one side. It's a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, and it has no place for leaders. That's the reason I don't consider myself as part of it, because it hasn't anything for me. Anytime you set up a government just for the people and leave leaders out, it's most certainly the worst type of discrimination. You still got a man, head of the Ku Klux Klan, saying that the black people haven't contributed as much to Western civilization as the horse. So actually, since I don't consider myself as one of the humans, I'm a spiritual being myself. I'm sure I can contribute more than the horse to any kind of person, because they're all here today and gone tomorrow anyway. And you might say that no man is contributing anything to anything. He doesn't stay here very long, you know, and then he's headed out somewhere else where he has no power. I feel that the men on this planet would be honest with themselves. They would see that they have no power whatsoever. To get involved in a particular situation of a time zone, a generation, a country, any sort of thing that would make a man think that he is, you might say, God, the kind that has absolute authority, is fooling oneself. I know myself would never want to be God or even like God, because God got all these human beings on this planet, and I most certainly wouldn't want to be responsible for them or even have the disgrace that I made them. I tried to bypass this planet because the people here are not really spiritual, and I'm a spiritual being. So I've tried very hard to bypass it. I think I'm going to fail, because I think some people on this planet are going to wake up to realize that it's the unknown that they need to know in order to survive.
Travel the Spaceways.
A lot of people have tried to contain me or to limit me, but you see, that is not my type of being, to be limited. You might call me a catalyst. A catalyst changes everything, but it remains unchanged. I've been called that. The Baroness Rothschild says that I'm a catalyst. So if you get one person on the planet to say that you are something, you got something to work with. So it's two of us say that I'm a catalyst. I am looking for people to make Judgment Day a reality and to realize that neither God or anybody else is going to judge humanity. They have to do the judging as to what is proper for them to survive. Now they can judge whether I'm really telling a lie or whether I'm telling the truth. And if I'm telling a lie, they have to judge whether the lie is more profitable to them than the truths that they know. So therefore, I'm paving the way for humanity to recognize the myth and become part of my mythocracy instead of their theocracies and their democracies and the other ocracies they got. They can become part of the magic myth, the magic touch of the mythocracies, because everything that's unknown is part of the myth. And I'm sure that the myth can do more for humanity than anything they ever dreamed is possible. They say that history repeats itself. They say that history repeats itself. They say that history repeats itself. They say that history repeats itself, repeats itself. But history is his story. It's not my story. What's your story?